I am Mara Burton. I am the Education Outreach Program Manager for Valley Water. I have my coworker Trevor Smith here with me as well too. And although we are from Valley Water, we're going to be presenting for Bayworks today. So sharing a bit about some Valley Water and also some Bayworks career information. So I'm going to share my screen at this time and we'll get into our presentation. Give me one moment. Just want to thank Gavilan College for having us present today as well too. So thank you so much for having us be here. Oops, I'm so sorry. My screen sharing is not on my side today. Here we go. So for Valley Water, we provide safe, clean, reliable drinking water, flood protection, and a healthy ecosystem. We provide water to all of Santa Clara County. So those are the 15 cities throughout Santa Clara County. So all the way up from North County, that's in Palo Alto, down to South County, that's Gilroy, where Gavilan College is. So that's what we do at Valley Water. This is our education team. Just want to make sure, Trevor, can you give me a thumbs up to make sure that the presentation has moved for you as well too?
Yeah, we're actually looking at the presenter mode, I think, Mara, so maybe the other screen might be the better one. This looks like we just have the full.
Okay, sorry guys.
It's okay, we've got a lot going on today.
We do. What do you see now?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, great. My screen is frozen here. I apologize. So this is our education outreach team. In a typical year, we go into schools and we work with students and teachers in Santa Clara County. But because of the pandemic, we have actually turned to shelter in place. And so we have been delivering our programs virtually. And so we've seen just over 10,000 students this school year in the virtual space. But today we're going to be talking to you about careers in water. And we're here to highlight the Bayworks and the many amazing careers in the water industry. So some of the career paths that you can explore either at Valley Water or with Bayworks is instrumentation techs and controls. We have water resource scientists, laboratory technicians, education outreach program managing, water quality managing, associate real estate. We have people that work in HR and human resources and civil engineering. And these are all just some of the courses and some of the careers that are here at Valley Water. Some of the career paths that we're looking to help expand on over the next few years in the water industry are such as electricians, electrical maintenance technicians, engineers, machinists, wastewater treatment, water distribution, water collection, and then water treatment officers. And so we have actually done our program in more attributes. Before I get in, I just want to share a few moments of the Bayworks career video with you. And Trevor, let me know if it's playing for you when I hit play. Oh.
No, not quite yet.
Yeah, it looks like it's taking us to an outside source for this. So I'm actually going to stop this at this moment here. I'm going to go back to my presentation. I'll put the link for that for this video in the chat so that people can watch it on their own. And for time purposes, I know we only have 20 minutes. We'll keep moving forward. So if you like working with your hands or working on a team, then a career in water is wonderful for you. Here we see is some of our operation maintenance people that are out fixing the Milpitas pipeline here in Santa Clara County in Milpitas. So this is a team that works together. So if you like working with your team, you can consider a career in water. If you like working with your hands also, here we have someone that's doing some instrumentation tech or water plant operator here that's doing working at our purification center over here. So if you like working with your hands as well, then a career in water is good for you. Also working outside and problem solving. So these are just some more of those career attributes that careers in water help to promote. It's also a public service job, and it's providing essential resources for the community, whether it's via lab technician or a plant operator. Another thing that we like to highlight about is that this is a transferable job. Everywhere you go needs water. So having a career in the water industry is something that's really cross-transferable. You can go anywhere in the world and work in a career in water. It's also a career that has longevity with good paying benefits. We heard earlier today from CHP that they were discussing, ways to have good retirements. So this is another great industry to work in that has good retirements and good career longevity. Again, you can get in, and there are many careers that don't need a 4-year degree, that don't need advanced degrees for these careers. So Gavilan College has a really great water career resources program that we highly suggest that you check out, because after you graduate from the Gavilan College Water Resources program, you can join one of the a company exactly right after you've graduated. So you're probably wondering, how do you get these jobs, right? How do you get a job in career management? Well, Gavilan College has, like I said, a really great career resource management program. And we're lucky to have Leilani here today to answer any questions that you might have regarding the program and any requirements. And we really like how Gavilan calls this careers in liquid gold. And as we said, these careers are transferable. These careers are great for retirement as well, too. So they really are great careers to think about for the future. And now I'm going to pass it over to Trevor Smith, who's going to talk a little bit more about where you can find different schools and different job resources.
Thanks, Mara. So, hi, friends. My name is Trevor Smith, and I do work with Valley Water. Today, representing Bayworks, who we work really closely with. They have an office in our building, so they're good friends of ours, so we're happy to carry their message today. Here's just some other colleges in the county and also throughout the state that also have really similar programs, very good vocational schools and also direct college programs that actually get you trained in these mission critical jobs that we're going to need for the future. And like Mara said, these are jobs that are always going to be hiring and that are very transferable. Anywhere there's water, these careers will exist. And so we'll go ahead to the next slide here. And we'll start taking a look at Baywork. So let's talk about the nitty gritty. Let's talk about the jobs themselves. So far, what you've heard has been more kind of a general description of wastewater or water, or just water in general, jobs and careers. So let's take a look at a couple specifically, and let's really talk about what they do and how much you can actually maybe even expect to make. Before we do that, let's take a look at where you can find them. Everything I'm describing right now or coming up here could be found at a Baywork career page, which is just baywork.org. There's training locations. There's actually a really great resource for finding these jobs as they become available. And Baywork, Bay is in the name. It's pretty Bay Area centric. However, they do work with different companies and different retailers and districts from all over the state. So it's a really great place to start if you don't even know how to get trained. You're not sure the education requirements. You're not sure what these jobs really would entail. It's a really great place to get started from the very beginning, and it can actually carry you all the way through to actually maybe finding your career in this industry. So let's start with electricians. Electricians is maybe not something you think of as being a water career, but we need plenty of electricians in all these mission critical jobs. A lot of these wastewater, water distribution, water treatment plants and facilities run on electrical equipment, these large machines. A lot of the processes are automated, but of course with that comes the need for maintenance. And so if you're an electrician, if you're not someone who's trying to build houses or whatever else you may find yourself doing retail work, this is a great option if you want to get into some of these city and county jobs in the water industry. Take a look at some of the pay we have down there, average monthly salary range for apprentice, for journey level, for supervisory. You can see as you get more experience, of course, you end up making more money, and it's a pretty good starting salary for someone who's just learning how to be an electrician, and maybe more than you might expect from just if you were to go out on your own. And of course, this is an average. Different parts of the state may have different payments. And of course, different states, we have a highest cost of living here. So we probably would typically pay more than most states. But again, this sort of pay range and this quality of pay is what you can expect just right from the get-go. So that's pretty interesting. We have electronic maintenance. And electronic maintenance is more the small components. Again, it's all electricity. And these are really cool vocational careers that don't require a 4-year degree. Again, if you like working with your hands, if you like problem solving and getting in there and finding the solution to all these little things, it seems really interesting to you. Again, we need plenty of folks who have that sort of skill set. And of course, we hire in-house for these. We actually have electricians and electronic maintenance techs on staff. So that's what's cool about this too. You'd actually be an actual employee a lot of these different places. Machinists, mechanics. So yeah, like I said, lots of these large pieces of equipment that do a lot of the work that you'd be operating. They break down. You know, they need to be installed. They need to be fabricated from brand new. And so of course we need people who are highly skilled in that area to be on staff. And again, all these jobs so far you can do separate from a career in water. So maybe you haven't thought about that bringing you to a career in water. But if you're a machinist or an electrician, we need you. You know, these are jobs that we can't do the water jobs without these jobs as well. And again, another starting salary range. You see, these have all been pretty similar so far. You know, in the $4,700 to $5,600 range, just starting as an apprentice. And of course, that moves up as you gain more experience and become journey level. Machinist is, you know, about preventative maintenance, routine and emergency maintenance. And of course, those definitely are an important person to have on staff as this equipment either breaks down or ages with time. So these are different careers that we definitely need going forward for these mission critical jobs. Wastewater treatment operator, this one's near and dear to my heart. So this one, here's where we kind of get into what you start thinking maybe more of as an actual water industry. You know, wastewater treatment operator, when you flush your toilet, when water goes down your sink, when water goes down the sewer, it ends up somewhere and it gets cleaned somewhere. And this is where it ends up. And you might be the type of person who's interested in figuring out how it is we do that. And so, you know, it's a lot of troubleshooting, it's a lot of problem solving, it's a lot of working with your hands, it's a lot of testing. There's a laboratory element, there's an element of learning different chemical processes. It's a really cool job if you're someone who doesn't want to just sit at a desk all day, but also you know, is quick on your feet with thinking, and also isn't, you know, afraid of taking a seat and actually figuring out something that needs to be done in order to solve a problem. It's a really great career path. You know, some more example pay down there as well. And again, these are mission critical jobs. We need these. A lot of our staff is retiring. A lot of the workforce is retiring in a lot of these jobs. And you can't have a large municipal city without lots of people who know how to do this. So these are mission critical jobs that we are ready to hire for all the time. And that particular career path is near and dear to my heart because, well, we'll take a look here. So this is just an example. This is my particular career path in water. And I just want to show you how atypical it is and how, you know, without a four-year degree, I currently don't have a four-year degree, but how I'm finding my way into some of these different jobs. So I'm actually was a music major and an audio engineer right out of college and in college. During the off season, when I wasn't touring and making money, I started working at the YMCA. And 10 years later, and having been promoted to, you know, one of their top levels of youth programming, I started working with Valley Water, and I really liked it. I actually studied to pass my grade 1 wastewater operator exam, not with college. I didn't actually go to school for it. I did some independent study, but I did take a course at Gavilan. Actually, you have to have a certain amount of education points just to qualify to take these tests. So I was able to do that. And shout out to Mr. Ainge, Greg, if anyone has him for wastewater 101 or whatever. He's a super awesome teacher, really great. That was really helpful. I passed that operator exam in March, I think it was. And currently I'm going to be moving to begin my OIT, which is an operator in training position. I'm going to start working at a wastewater treatment plant. At least that's the goal. So, you know, I started from not really thinking about wastewater or water at all as a career. And what really kind of fostered my love for it is I started working at Valley Water as an educator and started telling people about these great jobs, kind of like I'm doing right now. And I started thinking, well, why don't I jump into that? What am I doing that I don't take these opportunities? So I decided to do that. And in about, you know, 8 months to a year's time, I was able to qualify, take the test, and here I am. Pandemic definitely pushed that back quite a bit. But yeah, that's just one example of not needing a four-year degree to start getting your foot in the door of some of these careers. And of course, we have water treatment operator. Water treatment operators, they work with potable water, meaning water that you can actually drink. And it's a lot of similar processes and similar kind of a job you would do at a wastewater treatment plant. You're just working with clean water and cleaning it so the public can use it. Again, great monthly salary ranges, great longevity, great pensions, great careers. These are often city jobs, county jobs, jobs with a future, and jobs with a pension. And that's what I really want to stress is these are really high-paying jobs with a great future, great retirement that, again, don't require a four-year degree. I know I'm talking to a lot of college students, you know, thinking, well, why don't I need a four-year degree? I'm at college, and it's true. I'm not saying don't get a four-year degree at all, But I'm saying if that's maybe not your path or not the exact route you want to take, there are great options. And if you want to find careers at Valley Water, similar to what we have at Baywork, we also have a career page, career and job openings. I think this actually sends you to a place called governmentjobs.com or one of the government job sites. So it is that same job board if you've been looking for it. But again, we have kind of more specifically water related jobs on our site. And also, not just water related jobs. Like, Mara is not someone who has thought about having a job in water. She's an educator. She's a teacher, a classroom teacher, and now here she is at Valley Water. We have all sorts of folks who maybe aren't, 4-year degree, of course, Mara is, but who work with us who don't have 4-year degrees, who work in different fields, again, education. We have a lot of 4-year degree jobs too, as well, if that's something that you're interested in. If you're someone who has the ambition to really go for it, of course, we have engineers, we have lawyers, we have real estate agents, we have all sorts of people. We have graphic designers if you're artistic. I'm not sure that all of our graphic design team has a 4-year degree. I think as long as they have the skill set and they can prove their work, I think that's something that's also possible. So lots of different careers, lots of different career paths. Through Bayworks specifically, we work with just a ton of different regional districts, like I said, cities. Here we are, Santa Clara Valley Water District. That's our old name. We're Valley Water now. But, City of Hayward, Pleasanton, San Jose Water Company, all sorts of municipalities, all sorts of different public utilities. And so there's a lot of different folks hiring, with just within the county alone, there's 15 different cities, all of which have their own need for water professionals. And even within those cities, some smaller municipalities even have their own as well. So there's just a ton of opportunity, a whole lot of different folks hiring at all times, again, for these really mission critical, high paying jobs. And so, if this is something you're thinking about, if this is something that you were, on the fence about, again, I'd highly recommend it. If you're, young and really motivated and driven, it's a great time to start. I'm not so young anymore. I started a little bit later, not too late, but, definitely not right out of college. And I still have found my way into the water industry. So it's never too late. And it's not so difficult to try it out. If this is something you want, study for the tests. A lot of these different professions have tests that you take at the state level: water distribution, wastewater treatment, potable water distribution, potable water treatment. They're all state tests. They happen about twice a year typically. They cost I think mine cost about $100 to take. And, you could go take it. And if you fail, that's okay. You know what to learn for next time you take it. But if you pass, you're a big step of the way to starting your career. So there's not much to lose. And I think it's a great opportunity. It's been a great opportunity for me anyway. And if you have any more questions about this, of course, we're here right now to answer questions. But if you have any questions for the man himself, that's our friend Robert Scott. He actually is one of the directors and presidents of Baywork, and he'd be more than happy to answer any specific questions that maybe we're unable to answer, or if you want to talk to him directly, I highly recommend it. He was really generous with his time. He sat down with me for about 3 hours one day, just in the middle of work in a conference room, and really helped me map out what it is that I could do for my future. And so I'm sure he has lots of time to speak with anyone who's interested as well. So with that, I will open it up to questions for anyone who has them for our presentation, and we can do our best to answer anything you got.
Thanks, Trevor. I just also want to share that there are over 70 different water resource agencies here in the Bay Area. So Baywork has a great consortium of some of them, but there are also other ones that aren't belonging to Baywork too. So just want you to really take advantage and take a look at careers in water. Careers in water, as we said, are longevity. Careers in water are a great way to build your skills. Careers in water do not always necessarily need a 4-year degree. As Trevor did say, I'm a classroom educator. So before I came to Valley Water, I taught high school. And then I worked in the STEM career field with engineers. I speak engineer and scientists really well. That's something that Valley Water needed also. They needed someone that can translate water engineering and water science, and that's where I came into play. So it's really taking your skills from any careers that you have had. Maybe you are skilled and you've done something before and you're trying to do a career change, career in water. So just wanted to really highlight that there's all options and that all things flow into water careers as well too. So we would love to answer any questions that you might have. Again, you have a really supportive college and career courses here with the water management, water resources as well too. So if you're thinking about boosting your career or you want to find a career that has great longevity, I highly suggest a career in the water industry. And you can contact Trevor, myself, Robert, or look into Baywork as well. And I'll be putting those Baywork links in the chat once this is done.
Thank you so much, Trevor and Mara. Jessica and Adriana, do we have any questions in the chat?
No, I don't see any questions in the chat, but as far as professional growth, is there professional growth opportunities?
Yeah, specifically in any one of the fields we were talking about, or? Yeah, sure. So, part of, especially when you work in operations, and I'll talk specifically maybe more like the operations side, Mara, if you want to talk about some of the others as well. Absolutely. In fact, there's something called continuous education that you need to keep up on as you start your careers. So you will be constantly improving, constantly learning, and constantly building and really, gaining more wealth and gaining more, I want to say, wealth in the industry or value rather in the industry. And so, you don't stay at the baseline as you enter, you gain experience and you gain lots of great knowledge. And a lot of it's transferable knowledge as well. It's not always directly related to the position. I know there's a big need for communications folks in these industries. So if you're someone who can speak well, you can get trained up on actually being someone who leads tours of these facilities as well. And also you could, be an educator. I know a lot of the educators at Gavilan are actual treatment plant operators. And so if you're someone who has an education background, or maybe just think you might want to try it out, and you end up being great at it, like a lot of your educators are at Gavilan, that's another option too, to kind of increase your skill set.
And the water industry is always changing, and there's always opportunities for more resources and more education. One thing that California is focusing on is using recycled water to replenish our groundwater as well too. So there is always something to learn in the water industry, and there's always opportunities for growth as well too.
Thank you. Trevor, really quickly, what does your typical workday look like?
Okay, well, currently, as a Valley Water employee, I'm not quite in the operations centers. As a Valley Water employee, we're working from home these days. So what we would be doing is we would be getting to, our headquarters in San Jose, early in the morning, sometimes about 8, maybe even earlier. We'd have our itinerary for the day. We usually have a school site, a college, or a different public location where we would be spreading the good word of Valley Water and different issues in our community. We'd load into our van, we'd head out with our materials, and we'd go to our sites. We get several presentations done in a day. We come back, we do some office work. There's prepping for presentations, creating more curriculum, a lot of just, office work, honestly, at the end of the day. But I like it because it's a mixture of both. It's, I have a desk and I do some work there and I get a professional job done, but I also get out of there and I get to go in the public and interact with the community. And that's something I really like. And that's the kind of personality that is attracted to working with the education team. Someone who's, quick on their feet, who's very friendly and likes to be out there with people. These days, of course, I'm doing more Zoom related stuff. But yeah, it's definitely a combination of all sorts of different things currently in our communications department.
I would say the typical day at the workday is non-typical because you never know what is going to come up. A lot of our field maintenance operators and creeks and stream operators, their day changes day to day. Valley Water does help to manage 275 miles of the over 800 miles of creeks and streams here in Santa Clara County. So they're going to various locations and working with various communities to help remove debris, maybe plant more vegetation and materials, and do those creek maintenances. Our flood maintenance program is also really busy, and their day looks very different, typical day to day between flood season and dry season. As you know, we are coming up on more of a dry season as well now too. So our flow operators are going to be working in those streams to make sure that the waters are flowing. So there's many different jobs. Valley Water has, I think, over 800 different employees that are all doing different jobs. And so it really is very robust and really engaging. And that's why we wanted to focus on those attributes of working in teams, working with your hands, problem solving. Those are all of the skill sets that we're really looking for and the motivations that we're looking for in the water industry as well.